Alrighty, today we're taking a look at the Mesa Ridge 376 FBH. Start off down here. This is where your batteries are going to be stored. Here and here you have spaces for two of them. Propane tanks are there and there, but those are accessible through the side doors. Coming along the side here, you can see that propane access. That's just the storage for the extra tank. The other two on the side are actually connected into the gas lines. Pop this open. Lets us view our pass-through storage area. So power this on with the light switch here. You got your leveling panel there. I'll go over that later towards the end. And then we also have your battery disconnect switch right here. So once you have batteries on this unit, when you can't pull this out, that means those batteries are on. You give it a twist, pulls out, and that battery is cut off. So if you don't want those batteries to be drawn on the unit, take that out. Can't pull it out, batteries are back on. Above my head is your inverter. Your inverter converts your battery power over to 120 volts so that you can power outlets inside while you're driving down the road. So typically your refrigerator will only be able to run on 120, so that you'll have to turn this on while you're driving down the road. Power switch is right here. Just press it, it'll fire it on. Down here we have some tank pulls. The one on the left is actually going to be your gray tank, and then that one that's gray is actually your black tank. That's a little confusing, but based off the labels on the side here, that's what it's telling me. So gray tank means that that's your sink and shower water. Black tank means that that's the holding tank for your toilet. So you'll pull those open, push them in to keep that valve closed. And else down here we have low point drains. We'll talk about those when we go over the winterizing process. And we also have your fresh tank drain, which is right there, that white pull valve. When you pull that open, that's going to open that fresh tank up, and it's going to start dumping out on the floor. So if you're going to be filling your fresh tank, make sure that you've got that in the closed position. Moving on though, we have your tires here. Those lug nuts will be tightened down, tires will be filled up for you. You'll be ready for the road. Open this up, we got your water bay in here. So you got your fresh connection right there on the left, and then you're gonna adjust your valves accordingly to whatever you're trying to use. So if you're trying to fill that fresh tank up, say you don't have direct water hookup at your campsite and you need to fill the fresh tank up, you're gonna look here at your valve adjustment. Tank fill is what you're going to be wanting to use. You'll twist these all to the right, plug your hose in, turn the water on, and then that's going to start filling the fresh tank. Make sure that you have the tank pull closed so that that fresh tank doesn't just drain out while you're filling. Once that's full, you'll turn your water pump on, and then it'll pump from that tank to your faucets. Just make sure that when you're using that water pump, you turn it to pump like that. Little antifreeze in the system just coming out right now. But yeah, that's how you have it turned for drawing from the fresh tank. Also, if you're going to be using city connection, you'll have it in this position. Same thing, you're going to hook into here, turn the water on. That's going to run water directly to all the faucets, to your water heater and everything. So yeah, that's what the city water connection is for, that direct water hookup. Usually if there's a spigot at your campsite. But before we run our water, we're going to take a look at our water heater. Before we run any water, make sure you put your anode rod in, tighten that down with a 1 1/16 socket wrench. Once that's in nice and tight, then you can go ahead and run water from either that fresh or from that city connection. As that's starting to run, this will start to fill up. You'll know that this is full once water's coming out of the hot side of your sink in a complete stream. There's no gaps, bubbles, air coming out of there. I like to leave the hot taps open while this fills. That way any air pressure that builds up in here is just going to get released. But yeah, once that's full, water will be coming out of the hot side of the sink. You can go ahead and turn it on. It is gas or electric. Both the switches are going to be inside to fire it on. I'll show you those when we get in there. We'll also go over the winterizing process later in here. But also down here we have black tank flushes for your black tanks. You're gonna just stick a hose into here when you're draining your black tank out. Turn that water on, and it's going to shoot water into your black tank to help rinse it out. If there's anything stuck in there, it's going to help push it out of there. You have that secondary black tank drain back here, and then obviously we have the one up front that we talked about earlier, and again those ones are labeled with stickers up there showing you which one's which. Got your cable satellite hookups up top, as well as 2 outlets, and then a little light switch in there. Press on the middle to turn it on. You have your outside shower hose right there that's going to hook into here if you need to rinse something out. Big underneath storage area here. Put whatever you want in here. Get another light switch there. Press on that, turn it on. 50 amp service plug in right here. Just put it in, twist, tighten down this collar here around it. Pop that top down, all set. Sewer drain. Sewer hose storage area right in there. Your ladder is 250 pounds capacity. You got this big back door, but that just leads into that same pass-through that we just looked at, and it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, so I can't open it up for you. There's a backup camera connection up there. If you wanted to purchase a backup camera, you can talk to your salesman about that. Usually run around $500, I think. But yes, installation is super simple, and integrating it with your vehicle is super simple as well. Takes a matter of minutes. You got the tires on this side. See what the jacks look like when they're down. Just the back access to the back side of your fridge if you wanted to do maintenance yourself. Otherwise, that's just for us to take a look at. Other side of that pass-through, and then here are those propane tanks that are actually hooked into the gas line. So we got those both hooked up. Left is open, right's closed, and to switch between the tanks, just flip this little black valve here. This will turn clear when there's gas in the line. So whatever tank you want to use, have that black tab facing it. When it's empty, just flip it over. Got a furnace exhaust outside. This does get hot, so don't touch that if you're running your furnace. And then we have outside speakers up there. And then you also have an LP connection right there. If you wanted to run a grill out here per se, you'd hook an LP hose into this connection right here, plug it in, and then flip this silver tab towards the valve, and that is going to open the gas supply up so that you can light your grill. Steps are going to just fold right into the frame of the unit. Super simple. Adjusting the leg height, you just pull those pins out. You can slide those legs up or down. Just make sure when you're doing that you keep this metal flush with this metal. If you put it up too high, and when you close the door, this black metal here kind of rubs on here, and you might end up bending the door, which you don't want. We'll head on inside now. Super cool floor plan here. Lots of space. So we'll go here with the kitchen area. You got a panel light here. Those blue lights, the oven lights on this side for lighting that oven up. When you're lighting, just push in, turn to the left. The spark comes on as soon as you push this in. Super simple. Same thing for each 4 burners. The central one is for lighting the oven. Just make sure you leave this open while you're lighting the oven. That way no gas is going to get trapped in there. Microwave, super simple, just like one at your house. Refrigerator, also same thing. If you want to learn more about that, I just read your manual on it. We got fireplace, stereo, TV right here. Fireplace is electric, so if you didn't want to run the furnace, I'll just use this. About half an hour, you'll heat the whole place up. So you got up here the flame color, rock color, as well as temperature adjustment, lower high, and then a timer for up to 8 hours. Super simple. You got your stereo, power on is in the middle. You have zones 1 and 2. Zone 1 is going to be this. Zone 2 are going to be those outside speakers I showed you earlier. It does have Bluetooth if you want to connect your phone to it, play your own music. Just power it down. Got the TV. Super big sectional. Light switches here. But in here is going to be your panel for controlling everything in here. So 1 is going to be your main ceiling lights. 2 is going to be your awning light out here, and 3 is going to be the exact same thing as 1. Tap the screen to wake it up. Alrighty, so this first page is kind of all the pages just condensed down into one. So we'll just start going through the actual pages here. First one is water. That's going to show you all your tank levels on one screen here. As they fill, these bars are going to slide up. Then you have your water pump switch right here. Tap it, turns the water pump on. Then you have your 2 switches for your water heater, gas or electric. If you're plugged in, I just use the electric one. Save you some propane. Otherwise, if you're not, use that propane one. 10 to 15 minutes after you turn it on, that water is going to be hot. Just make sure you don't turn those on with no water in the water heater, because it can eventually melt your water lines. If you turned it on and forgot about it with no water in there, it's going to heat that tank up too much, and then it can melt those lines. So just make sure that those are off when there's no water in this unit. But anyways, with that propane one, once that water's hot, you don't need to leave it on. Otherwise, you're just burning propane to heat water that's already hot. So about 10 to 15 minutes before you think you're going to need to use hot water, say for a shower or washing dishes, I would turn that on. Next page is going to be motors. So you can do individual jack controls here, adjust every jack individually. You can do your auto level, you can retract all from here, but I like to do it all from the panel outside, which I'll show you later. Slides and awnings are right here. Extend, retract, extend, retract. I'll show you all these running in and out. Next we got your AC. So the main, turn it on. It's gonna be the one right above our heads back there. Got your modes, cool, down to heat, fan, auto cool. Once you get to the setting you want to use, temperature up and down. Then you have your fan speed adjustment here. Really simple. Same thing for the other one, just you won't have the heat mode on that one. You can only control the furnace from this page. Next one is lights. Tap them to turn them off, tap them to turn them back on. These ones are dimmable. Next we've got tire pressure sensors, propane sensors, fridge temperature, which you can all set up after you purchase monitoring systems from the BM Pro if you wanted to. Next, just showing your battery voltage, 13.1, that's plenty. Max air fan controls right here. That's going to turn this fan on right above us. It does have a rain sensor, so that will close if it gets wet. Very simple. Turn it off, that'll close it back down and shut it back off. Got a couple more light switches here. See if we got anything here. Some storage. Got your sewer caps. But we'll head back here, why not? It's just the super cool, like, kind of back lounge area. We got the TV, mini fridge. Both these couches fold down into beds. I'll show you how to do it on this one. Take your back cushions off. Pick up from here. Pull out. Flop these legs down. Like that. And it folds down as such. Flop it down, back down. That's what that looks like, all folded down. These lights can be presses. Mini fridge. Temperature adjustment is in the corner. Manual is in there. These big closets. We have the bathroom back here as well. Pedal flush toilet. Step on that pedal to flush it. Simple sink. Medicine cabinet. To turn that fan on, press the fan switch right there. This one actually might be on the wall. There we go. And then you also have a max air fan in here as well. Same thing as the other one. Press the on switch. That opens it up. And in this unit you have the Prep for WineGuard gateway, which you can install if you wanted to have Wi-Fi. Just a little router that's installed in the ceiling here, and then you can insert SIM cards into there based off your provider if you wanted to have internet in here. You can also speak to your salesman about that if you wanted to add that on. Walk back here, light on, take a look in your bathroom. pedal flush toilet back here as well. Travel, make sure your travel latches are on. You don't want these glass doors sliding and banging around while you're on the move. You have 2 GFCI right here if you need to reset your outlets. You can do that from there and there, or here. The bed back here is going to lift up. Get a little bit of storage down here where you have your manual jack crank. Just to preface, the AC is going to come through the ceilings and the heat comes through the floors. Make sure you don't put the full weight of your foot on those floor vents because they can bend, crack, and we don't want your feet falling through the floor. For these exit windows, pull the red tab, props open just like that. And we have the screen pull right here. Just pull that up. That'll pop the screen out for you so that you can escape in the case of an emergency. All right, down here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas leak detector. That's going to draw off the batteries when the unit's not plugged in. So if you don't want your batteries to die, I would take the negative ends off. There's just a little green light that's on there that slowly draws power from those batteries and kill them off in 2-ish weeks if you're not staying in here. So it is a good idea to disconnect those batteries. Even flipping your disconnect switch will still not cut the power off to this. It's hardwired for safety regulations. So if you want to cut the power to it, you're going to have to take the negative end off of your battery directly. Let's head up into the kind of front lounge area. We have this couch, your mini fridge, the television, bathroom. All right, let's go over this leveling panel right here. So to turn this panel on, you press up and down at the same time. That little green light's going to come on. That's so you know the panel's active. To raise and lower the front stabilizing jacks, you're going to go up or down. Now these up and down arrows are only controlling the front jacks, not any of the ones in the back. If you want to do the ones in the back, after you're off your truck, you'll run those front ones all the way down until they're on the ground. You get off of your truck, and then you'll press auto level. Auto level is going to run all of the jacks down and then calibrate the unit side to side to make sure that it's level. Once it's done with that, that green light will turn solid because while it is doing auto level, that green light is going to be blinking. But yeah, once that's solid, that means that the auto level has completed and you're ready to run your slide outs out and everything, run your awnings out and get all set up. That's basically all you need to know for running jacks down. For running jacks up, the simplest way to do it is to just press hitch height. What that is doing is returns the jacks to the place that it was before you pressed auto level. So theoretically, it'll return those jacks to a position right where you just got off your truck from. So when you press that, it should be within a couple of inches of where it was before you pressed auto level. That way, loading this back onto your truck should be pretty simple. If it is off a little bit, maybe the camper's shifted, you can still just adjust those front jacks up or down. Once you're back hooked up to that truck, you'll come here, press retract all. That's going to run all of the jacks all the way up again. You'll pull this out, slide this all the way up. Just make sure that these nuts are loosened so that this can slide all the way up, and then you're ready to drive away again. Hopefully that makes sense. Otherwise, there typically is a manual inside on how that works as well. All right, let's go over winterizing. To winterize, turn your valves to the winterize mode right here. That changes where the water pump draws from. So it's not going to draw from your fresh tank anymore, and instead it's going to draw from this end here. You're going to attach your hose right here, run it into a jug of antifreeze down here or up there, wherever you have it set. Turn your water pump on, and then it's going to start drawing from that jug and running into your faucets and everything. When you have this on winterize mode, that's bypassing your water heater automatically. So no antifreeze is going to get in there, so you don't have to worry about going behind that and messing with anything. But yeah, you got antifreeze here, you got the pump on. You're going to run antifreeze through all your faucets and down all the drains, including your outside shower. So go inside, open those taps up, do them one at a time until it's completely pink coming out of there. Once you've done all of that for the inside faucets and your outside shower, you'll come to your low point drains below here, hot and cold, and you're gonna open those up and run it until it's completely pink coming out of there. Once it's completely pink coming out of your low point drains and out of all of your faucets, and you've gotten enough antifreeze down your drains, you are all set. You just wanna make sure that there's no air gaps in there and no water that is still going to be coming out. Make sure it's completely pink, solid pink stream, and you should be all set. So once you're done running antifreeze to everything, make sure that you've drained all your tanks out. You don't need to put antifreeze into your fresh tank as long as it's empty. And then you should be all finished up. Just also remember to drain your water heater out. To do that, let the pressure off with this pressure release valve, and then take your anode rod out with your 1 1/16 socket wrench, and all that water that's in there is going to drain out as well. All right, with all of that said, I believe we've covered everything. If there wasn't something that got covered in this video, we strongly encourage you to bring a list of questions with you to your pickup date. That way we can get those answered for you. Any other questions before pickup, contact your salesman. And then after you've picked up, if anything breaks, something goes wrong, contact our service department. They can walk you through fixes for getting that working again, or schedule for appointment to get something repaired. But with all of that said, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and have a great rest of your day.